doesn't really seem like it
That's
would
different.
be a high-scoring game at this point.
That was a close goal there by
Okay.
number 7,
Good to
Faith
know.
Kendall.
Yes, it was.
Please try again.
Oh. Oh, it's going. Hey.
Doesn't really seem like it
That's
would
different.
be a high-scoring game.
That was a close goal there by number 7, Faith
Betty
Kendall.
Herrera
It's
would
different.
be a high-scoring game. And picked off by
That was
number
a
18.
close goal there by
Okay.
number 7, Faith Kendall.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was.
I'm going to drop that back down. Thanks for hanging, Benny.
Come out of here.
Okay.
Thanks for coming and saving
Out
the
of
day.
bounds by Sultan.
Thanks for coming and saving the day.
And then finding all your problems.
And then finding all my problems. You only found half my problems, okay?
I can't
Brush
figure out.
goes in, has possession around 50. Excuse me, the 60.
Okay, half my problems. I'm going to drop that back down. Thanks for hanging, Benny. Okay.
So what is the out-of-bound lines for soccer? Is it the yellow line that I see, or is it the white line like football?
It is yellow lines by the soccer player is wider than a football field and longer. So the 50 that you see marked for the football is actually the 60-yard
Okay,
line.
half my problems.
Oh, okay. So how long is a soccer field?
120.
Okay. Oh, because what is it?
The end zones
So what
for
is the
football
out-of-bound
equal
line?
10 yards.
For soccer? Is it the yellow line that I see? Now, is there anywhere that a soccer player can't go? Like, can they not go? Are they box of the goalie?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay. So how long is a soccer field? Oh, because what is it? The end
You guys sure are quiet over
Is there
there.
anywhere that a soccer player can't go? Like, can they not go?
Ask questions.
The goalie?
Ball is kicked out of bounds by Sultan.
Okay, I'll fix that.
Oh, no, ref is going to mark it in.
Okie doke, I'll fix that quickly. Still working
Ball
out a
is
little
picked off
bugs.
by senior Lauren Landis and sent
Still
up the
working out a
field.
few bugs.
What does that mean when the ball's picked off?
It means one team had possession and the other team somehow got it.
Gotcha.
Ah, okay.
Ask questions.
The goalie?
Ball is kicked out of bounds by Sultan. Ball is kicked out of bounds by Bush and will be
Okay,
recovered by
I'll
Betty
fix that.
Herrera. Oh, no, ref is going to mark it in.
Okie doke, I'll fix that quickly. Still working
Ball
out a
is
little
picked
bugs.
off by senior Lauren Landis and sent up
Still
the
working out a
field.
few
Now,
bugs.
what does that mean when the ball's picked off? So I'm aware that there are,
It means one team had
like,
possession.
I'm gonna like
and the
a
other
yellow
team-
card, red card. How does that sort of thing work?
Ah, okay.
Yellow cards are given for penalties. Red cards can be a number of penalties or a very, very strong Ball's kicked out of bounds by Bush.
So how would you get a red card?
By Betty Herrera. Yeah, you'd pretty much end up hitting someone.
Like on purpose?
Yeah.
What does that mean? All right, so what's happening right now? So I'm aware that there are the ball sitting in the field, like a yellow Bush just kicked. How does that sort of thing
Yes, right now
work?
there was a penalty at about the 25 on Sultan, penalties, so red Bush cards gets can possession of the ball where the a penalty number of happened. Penalties or a very, very strong. Kicked out of bounds by Bush.
So how would you get a red card?
And ball is kicked out of bounds by Bush, pretty much by Sultan, and will be recovered by Bush. End up hitting someone.
Like on purpose?
Yeah.
I'll show you.
All right, so what's happening right now? So I'm aware that there are the ball sitting in the field, like a yellow
So
Bush
is
just
it
kicked.
important that there are 3 refs during soccer games, or does it vary with how many refs you need?
3 refs is very necessary. You have the 2 refs on the outside, which are the line refs, and they're the ones that can kind of tell if the ball actually does go out of bounds or not, because from the center of the field, you don't really have that good of a view down the line, obviously. So having a ref that's able to see when the ball actually crosses out is a lot better than relying on someone who's
So is
30,
it
40 yards
important
away
that
from
there
the
are
ball.
3 refs
Sort of like
during
line
soccer
judges in
games, or does it
volleyball.
vary
Yes,
with how
exactly.
many
And then the
refs
center
you
ref is to monitor more of the field play 3 refs. that's happening.
Oh, okay.
Is he the one who will call red and yellow cards?
Yes, he is. And they're the ones that can kind of tell.
If a ref calls a penalty, can another ref like dispute it and say that wasn't a penalty, or is it usually just?
down the line, obviously? So, having a ref that's able to see when the ball actually crosses out is a lot better than relying on.
So is the center ref kind of the head ref?
So is
30,
it
40
important
yards
that there are 3
Yes, the
refs
center
Sort of
ref
like
is the head
line
ref.
judges in
during soccer
volleyball.
games, or vary
Yes,
with how
exactly.
many
And then the
refs
center
you
ref is to monitor more of the field play that's happening.
Oh, okay.
Is he the one who will call red and yellow cards?
Yes, he is. And they're the ones that
Is the center ref usually the head ref because of experience, or just for the game and say that wasn't a penalty, or is it usually
I'm
just?
pretty sure the center ref is usually the head ref just because of his position on the field.
Because of how they're assigned. All right. So is the center ref kind of the head ref? Got it.
Yes, the
Sort
center
of
ref
like
is the head
line
ref.
judges in volleyball.
Yes, exactly. And the center ref is to monitor more of the field play that's happening.
All right.
Is he the one who will call red and yellow cards?
Right. Is the center ref usually the head ref because of experience, or just for?
I bet all of the girls are very, very hot. It's 90 degrees here in Sultan. So I'd be very hot if I was outside playing soccer right now.
Yes, it is. With all the smoke in the air, it shouldn't be too hard. Shouldn't be too easy to breathe.
Oh, lots of ash as well. So is there anywhere you can't score points from? Like, if a girl has like a corner kick on this side of the field from for Sultan, can Sultan kick the ball and can it fly across the field into the goal? And does that count?
Very, very hot.
Yes, it does.
It's 90 degrees here in Sultan. I don't figure that would happen because there's a goalie. Outside playing soccer right now.
Yes, it is. With all the smoke in the air.
And is the goalie allowed to leave the goalie box?
Yes, the goalie is allowed to leave
lots
the
of
goalie
ash
box.
as well.
That's known as the 6-yard line.
So is there
It's
anywhere
the
you
front of
can't
the
score
goalie
points
box,
from?
And then up until the 18-yard
Like,
line.
if a
which is the
girl
next
has
big
like a
yellow
corner
box you
kick on
see,
this side of the
the
field
goalie can use their
from
hands, and they are allowed to leave
for
that. But if they're
Sultan,
outside
can
of
Sultan kick
that
the
box,
ball?
the
Can it
goalie
get
no
fly
longer
across the
use
field
it.
into the goal?
So that yellow oval type thing at the very top of the goalie box, is that part of that goalie box or no?
No, it's not. Once you step out of the straight yellow line.
And is the goalie allowed to leave the goalie
I
box?
actually am not sure what yes,
Uh,
the yellow curve is for.
leave the goalie box.
That's known as the 6-yard line.
So is there anywhere you can't score points from?
And then up until the
Like,
18-yard
if a girl has like a
The
corner
ball is
kick
played
on
in
this
by
side of the
senior
field
Lauren
from
Landis from the goal box, and he's
for Sultan,
out about around
Sultan
50.
kick the ball, can it get fly across the field into the goal?
So that yellow
what is the
oval
point of
type
the-
thing at the very top of the goalie box, is that part of that goalie box or no?
No, it's not. Once you step out of the straight yellow line.
And is the goalie allowed to leave the goalie
I
box?
actually am not sure what.
So what's the point of the 6-yard line goal box? What purpose does it serve?
The ball is played in by senior Lauren Landis from the goal box, and he's out about around 50.
So that
So
yellow
what is the point of the?
I'm not sure other than
very top
the
of
placement
the
of a
goalie
goal
box,
kick.
is that part of that
All right,
goalie box?
very nice.
No, it's not. Once you step out of the straight yellow line.
So what's the point of the 6-yard line goal box? What purpose does it serve?
So that
So
yellow
what is the point of the?
I'm not sure other than
very top of the
So
goalie box, is that part of that?
all right, very nice. So what's the point of the 6-yard line goal box? What purpose does it serve?
And Bush has possession around center field. And it is.
So for sub-in within soccer, does it happen during the game? Is the game stopped?
Can you repeat that question, Nick?
So for the purpose of subbing in, is the game stopped for sub-ins, or does the sub-in
Bush has
continue?
possession around- the game is stopped by the ref. However, the clock will continue to count down. It needs to be a very speedy process getting players on and off the field. That's why you'll see next time there's a
So
sub
for
in, players
sub in
will,
within soccer,
wait around the
does it
center
happen
field
during the
line
game? Is the
until
game
the next
stopped?
time either the ball gets kicked out of bounds, there's a penalty, or anything that naturally stops gameplay, and then yell for the ref's attention.
So,
The ref will call them in
for
and have them come in, and the players are
the
subbing
purpose
get out as
of
fast as possible.
Okay. Subbing in, is the game stopped for sub-ins, or does the sub-in continue?
You're allowed to sub at any time that the ball is not currently being played. So right before that, free kick that was just taken by Florin Landis would have been a perfect time for a sub because the ball was not
sub-in
currently
within soccer, does it happen during the game? Is the game stopped?
And is there a reason that before you get subbed in, when you're sitting over on the bench, that you wear a penny?
That is for if the ball goes out of bounds right by your bench. It's easier for the refs to distinguish who's an active player and who's on the bench.
Did he eat
Whereas
anything?
if everyone on the bench is wearing the same exact thing as the players on the field were, if the players on the bench were standing up, it could get confusing to the refs and not know who was actually possessing the ball.
And is there a reason that when
Does Sultan have
before
anyone
you
over on the
get
bench
subbed
that's
in,
currently
when you're sitting
waiting?
over on the bench, that you wear a penny?
Yes, we have a few subs over there. I cannot tell who they are.
Okay.
Yes.
For the refs to distinguish who's an active player and who's on the bench. And Bush has possession around center field and is moving towards Sultan goal box. If players on the bench were standing up, it could get confusing to the refs and not know who was actually. Ball is sent out
How
of
do you
bounds
find out
by
about that?
defender Casey Gonzalez.
And is there a reason that when
Does Sultan have anyone
is that a
over on the bench that's
strategy to
currently
kick
waiting?
it out, but as far as you can out, so it's away from your goal?
Yeah, for defenders, it's a strategy a lot. If the ball starts getting, especially when it's close to the goal, if it starts getting kind of scary to have the ball there, defenders will tend to kick it up the field as far as they can, and typically out to the left or right side. That way it's not right in the center of the field for anyone to pick off, and most of the time it does go out of bounds.
Does Sultan have anyone
Is that
over
a
on the bench
strategy
that's
to
currently
kick it
So what are some skills that
out,
the
but as far as you
the
can
soccer
out,
defenders
so
need to
it's
have?
away from your
The defenders need to be really good at moving on their feet quickly, but also staying stable, not letting people get around them very easily, and being really quick with their feet if someone's going to move around them to not go inward for the ball, but to get in front of the ball.
What about a middle?
Middle players tend to be
So what are some skills that
more,
the soccer defenders need to have?
tend to have more ball handling skills, like their dribbling skills are typically better. Most of the time the outside middle players along with the outside forwards are tend to be the faster players because there's a lot more running involved in those positions when you are trying to make yourself open and as an outside mid play the whole field.
Now, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're watching. What just happened there? Why did the game stop?
Players tend to be
So what are some skills
there
that
was a penalty that happened there, and I'm not sure what it was.
All right.
Skills, like their dribbling skills are typically better. Most of the time, the outside middle players, along with the outside forwards, are tend to be the faster players because there's a lot more running involved in those positions when you are trying to make yourself open and.
So what kind of penalties can you get? Just like pushing penalties, that kind of thing? Like if you push someone too hard?
The game stop?
Yeah, most of them are just basic fouls that happen. Like if you push someone, or if you go to run in for the ball, but you end up hitting the person, and to the ref it doesn't appear as if you're going for the ball. If it looks like you're just trying to like play dirty, he'll stop it and have the other team take the free kick. If it starts getting too out of hand is when
So
the
what
ref will
kind
start
of
pulling out yellow
penalties
cards
can
and
you
eventually
get?
red cards.
Just like pushing penalties, that kind of thing? Like if you push someone too hard?
Yeah, most of them are just basic fouls. That ball was picked up inside the 18 by goalkeeper Amanda McKay, or if you kicks it out, go to run in for the ball, and ball is but you end up picked up by Bush. To the ref, it doesn't appear.
So a defender needs to have good, be able to block the other players and be quick on their feet. The mids, very good ball handling skills. What about the forwards?
The forwards are typically the best shooters. They're the ones that are going to be taking most of the shots. Mids take some shots, and defense rarely ever take shots unless they're from very far away. Forwards also usually have to be pretty good with ball handling skills because the defenders are really good at the opposite of that, like we already discussed, and having to be able to work around them. Picked up by Bush. Or the defenders for the other team.
So
I
a
should say.
defender needs to have good, be able to block the other players. Now, Kobe, in boys soccer, you play goalie.
Yes.
So what are skills that the goalie needs to have?
The goalie usually needs to be pretty light on their feet, be able to jump really quickly, and it actually takes a lot more endurance than people tend to think. You're constantly up and down off the ground, as well as forward and back and side to side, trying to judge everything that's happening. And
now, Kobe, in
you also
boys
have to
soccer,
have a lot
you play
of
goal.
communication with
So what are
your
skills that the
players.
goal would
From the back of the goal box, you can see pretty much the entire field that's happening around you, whereas players that are on the field, they can't usually see what's happening for, say, behind them or to the sides of them. They can only see what's ahead of them. So you usually have a lot of communication with your center defender, who will then relay stuff to the rest of your team, as well as forward and back and side to side, trying to judge everything that's happening.
Now, what is the ref signaling right now?
Right now, the ref is signaling for the subs to go ahead and rotate. There was a Bush player and a Sultan player standing on the center field line, and they just subbed it. See what's happening for, say, behind them or to the sides of them. They can only see what's ahead of them. So you usually have a lot of communication with your center defender. And there was a free kick taken by Bush that was blocked by senior Lauren Landis, and another shot on goal picked up by
Now, what is the ref
Amanda
signaling right
McKay.
now?
Right now, the ref is stopped by the subs to kick the ball out to about the
50?
Yes, Nick, about the 50. Good job. And it will go out of bounds.
Does it happen during...
And you have another sub in for Bush. And there's a free kick taken by Bush that was blocked by senior Lauren Landis, and another shot on goal picked up by
Now, what is the ref
Amanda
signaling
McKay. Right now, the ref is stopped by the subs to kick the ball out to about the...
Now, when people are subbing in, do they only sub into their particular positions? Like, are there defenders that only rotate with the defenders, mids that only rotate with the mids, and forwards that only rotate with the forwards?
Typically, everyone has their own set position, but ultimately it is up to the coach what the player is subbed in for at the time. Like, there are some players that are forwards on the boys team that we have that will sometimes be subbed in as defense if our defense really needs help, because they're really good at both positions.
Now, when
just
people are
they're a little
subbing in,
better
do they
at
only
forwards,
sub
that's
into
what
their
they typically
particular
do.
positions? Like, are there
The coach
defenders that only
feels
rotate
that
with
they
the
can use
defenders,
somewhere
mids that only
else.
rotate with the mids, and forwards that only
That's
rotate with the
where
forwards?
the coach will put them. Typically,
Okay.
everyone has their own set position, but ultimately it is up to the coach what the player is subbed in for at the time. Like, there are some players that are forwards.
Can more than one player trade in at a time?
Yes, that will sometimes be subbed. You can have pretty much as many players as you want. Needs help sub in at one time. Both positions.
Now, when people are subbing in, do they only sub into their particular positions? Like, are there
The coach
defenders that
feels
only
that
rotate with
they
the
can use
defenders,
somewhere
mids that only
else.
rotate with the mids, and forwards that only
That's
rotate with
where
the forwards?
the coach will put them. Typically,
Okay.
everyone has their own set position, but ultimately it is up to the coach what the player is subbed in for at the time. Like, there are some players that are forwards.
Can more than one player trade in at a time?
Yes, that will sometimes be subbed. You can have pretty much as many players as you want. Ball is kicked out by the Turks around the 18-yard line. Ball will be thrown in by Bush.
Okay.
Thrown down line, picked off by Betty Herrera.
Can more than one player trade in at a time?
And ball is back to Bush possession. Bush takes a shot, and it is wide to the left. That'll lead to another goal kick by senior Lauren Landis. Ball will be thrown in by Bush.
Now, is this the goal kick that we were talking about the use of the 6-yard line?
Yes, it is. The 6-yard line, you can place the ball anywhere you would want along it, but typically if you're going to place the ball on the right-hand side of the 6-yard line, you'll want to kick it to the right, because you usually don't want to cross the ball over the goal, because it would be easier for the team to shoot it straight in than go in from the side.
Now, is this the goal kick that we were talking about the use of the 6-yard line?
Yes, it is. the 6-yard line, you can place the ball anywhere you would want along it, but typically if you're going to place the ball on the ball is sent off from the 18 by senior Lauren Landis, the 6-yard line, and picked up by Faith Kendall. Usually don't want to cross the ball over the goal because it would be easier for the team to shoot it straight in than going from the center.
So are Bush and Sultan using the same formations? That's just the goal kick that we were talking
I
about.
do not believe so. It looks like
6-yard line?
Bush right now is playing 4 forwards, 3 mids, and 3 defenders. Ball is sent off from the 18 by senior Lauren Landis, 6-yard line, and picked up by Faith Kendall.
That looked like some good goaltending by goalie Amanda McKay.
Yes, it was.
So are
That's
Bush
usually
and
a really hard
Sultan
thing to
using
do,
the
is have
same
the ball
formations?
bounce off of you and then immediately go and cover it.
Those balls seem to come in pretty quick.
I do not believe so. Oh yeah, they do, especially when you start getting to the players that have been playing for a really long time and know how to hit the ball where they want with a lot of power. There are times where it can actually like knock the wind out of you, but you
That's
still
like some
gotta
good
block the ball.
goaltending by goalie. Have you ever had the wind knocked out of you?
Yes, I have. Yes, it was.
So
It
are
hurts.
Bush
It's
and
usually a really
Sultan
hard thing to do, is
using
have
the
the ball
same
bounce off
formations?
of you and then immediately go and cover. I'll give a shout out to Juan Sona Sanchez for that.
Those balls seem to come in pretty quick.
Oh yeah, they do, especially when you start getting to the players that have been playing for a really long time and know how to hit the ball.
So everyone kind of just stepped away from the ball there.
With power. There are times. Oh yeah, so on a free kick, the opposing team has to step away from the ball. If
Have
the
you ever had the
player
wind
asks
knocked out of you?
for it, they have to give 10 yards. However, if the player does not ask, they can technically be as close as they want to, but that usually doesn't happen because if they are too close, the player will ask the ref to make the other team give up 10 yards.
So
See
everyone
balls
kind of just
kicked out of
stepped away
bounds
from
by
the ball
Sultan.
there.
So is the out of bounds line the yellow?
Yes.
All the way around?
Yes, it is. Opposing team has to on our field, all of the yellow lines represent soccer lines, and all the white lines represent football lines. Not ask, they can technically be as close.
And so would that be a pick by Faith Kendall there?
I don't think it would be a pick because no one officially had possession there. There wasn't
Hi, this is Dave.
enough time or like movement
Hello?
with the ball to be able to say it was
Everyone kind of
kicked
just
out of
stepped away from the ball there.
So is the out of bounds line the line refs on the sides of the field, will they call it out if the ball crosses over, or if the person with the ball, if their foot crosses over the yellow line?
It's
Oh my
they
gosh,
watch
I just
the
asked
ball,
my wife
by
to
Faith
so
Kendall
the ball
there?
can come a little bit over the line, but once the ball is
swear,
more than
I swear.
halfway, most refs will call possession.
Hi, this is Dave.
The players can step
Okay, can we
out
make
once in a
one
while.
right
You
now?
have the line refs that will still call the player going out of bounds to get the ball, but typically they.
Yeah, it was
So
embarrassing.
flag. I'm not sure
the
if
line
that's
refs
supposed to
on
call
the
that.
sides of the field, will they call it out if the ball crosses over, or if the person with the ball, if their foot crosses over the yellow line?
It's
Oh my gosh, I just asked my wife.
So the girls are allowed to run out of bounds in the field?
I swear, I swear. I
yes, as long
have
as the ball is still
tomorrow
within the
morning
boundaries. Can
or
step out once in a while. You have the line refs that will
Wednesday
still call
afternoon or
the. Back to our previous conversation.
Wednesday, actually Wednesday.
That was a bad
line
example of time, but
refs
if you
on
just
the
saw
sides of the
Bush
field,
was able to make a few passes from player to player and kind of hold the ball with their team like they are right now.
So gaining possession.
Yeah, that's gaining possession. So as of now, if the ball were like to be
So the
kicked
girls are
and
allowed to
then
run out
taken
of
by
bounds on the field?
one of the Turk players, that would be picking off the ball.
Like right there.
Like right there, Casey
Tomorrow
Gonzalez
morning.
picked off the ball and sent it back downfield. Back to our previous conversation.
Let's do it.
Now the ball is back in
And that's
possession.
excellent. It's pretty quick, right? I mean,
Make a few passes from player to player and kind of hold the ball with their team like
Thank
they are
you.
right now.
So gaining possession.
Yeah, like gaining possession. So as of now, if the ball were like to be
So the
kicked
girls are
and
allowed to
then
run out
taken
of
by
bounds.
one of the Turk players, ball is out of bounds by Sultan. Like
Right there.
Like right there, Casey
tomorrow
Gonzalez
morning.
picked off the ball and sent it back downfield. Back to our previous conversation.
Let's do it.
Now the ball is back in
And that's
possession.
excellent. It's pretty quick, right?
Passes from player to player and kind of hold the ball with their team like
Thank
they are
you.
right now.
So gaining possession.
Yeah, like gaining possession. So as of now, if the ball were like to be
So the
kicked
girls are
and
allowed to
then
run out
taken
of
by
bounds.
one of the Turk players, ball is out of bounds
So in
by
soccer,
Sultan.
are points typically scored from for instance, like exhausting the other team to the point where they can no longer block the goal, or is it just putting so much pressure the goalie's unable to block it?
Usually it can be a combination of that and a few other things, such as ball placement. The more you practice like your shooting skills and get better at that, the better you are at shooting. The easier you can place the ball on your shot. So most players, when they're just starting
So in
out, they kick
soccer,
the ball,
are
and as long as the ball
points typically scored
is
from,
within the
like,
bars of
for
the goal,
instance, like
that's
exhausting
all
the other
good.
team to the point where they
But,
can no longer block the goal, or is it just putting so much pressure
Once
the
players
goalie's
start
unable to
practicing
block
like
it?
aiming for their shots,
usually
they'll
it
start
can be a
aiming for like
combination
the
of,
upper and lower V's, which is the
that
top
and a
corners
few other
and
things,
bottom corners
such
of the
as
goal,
ball
or they'll start
placement.
aiming for
The more you
like trying to hit the
practice, like, your
crossbar.
shooting skills and get better
That's
at
the
that, the
bar
better
that
you
goes
are
across the top of the goal,
the easier
and
you
having
place
it
your
come
ball,
back
place
to
the ball on your
hit it
shot.
again.
So,
And it's just kind of a lot of
Points typically scored
is
from,
within the
like,
bars of the
for
goal.
instance, like exhausting
Trying to make
the
the ball
other
get
team
around the
to the point
goal.
where they can block the goal, or is it just putting so much pressure
Once
the
players
goalie's
start
unable to
practicing,
block
that's why
it?
as a goalie, being able to jump is very important, especially for those upper and lower V shots. On the lower Vs, you have to be like really confident in just putting your arm straight out and diving and landing on your side, and trying to block the ball that's over in the lower corner, and being able to jump all the way up to the upper corner to block those high shots. Trying to make the ball get around.
Now, for you as a goalie, what's the most difficult? What's the difficult shot for you to block?
Being able to jump. For me, the most difficult is probably my right side lower V. For me, I just have some kind of mental block that makes me not want to reach my arm all the way out when I jump to the right. Right side upper V is a little bit easier because you're not jumping directly to the ground. But yeah, the lower V shots tend to be more difficult because you're knowing that you're gonna slam your
Now, for
side
you as a
right on
goalie,
the ground.
what's the most difficult? What's the difficult shot for you to block?
For me, the most difficult is probably my right side. That's why lots of times in practice and when we're warming up or we're just doing like shots on each other while the rest of the team is warming up, me and the rest of the goalies, when we're taking shots on each other while the rest of the team is warming up, we'll typically ask for more of the shots that we're bad at blocking at. So I always ask for lower Vs. One of the goalkeepers last year always asked for upper left Vs, and that actually helps a lot for the goalkeeper's shooting as well. If they ever decide to move back out to field, it makes you a lot better at shooting and at aiming your ball like we talked about earlier, and it just kind of like helps strengthen your all-around ball hitting skills. The shots that we're bad at blocking at, so I always ask for lower Vs. One of the goalkeepers last year ball was kicked out of bounds by Sultan again and going to be picked up by Bush. And coming in for the Turks is Carly Allen, subbing for Betsy Herrera. It makes you a lot better at shooting and at aiming your ball like we talked about earlier, and it just kind of like helps strengthen your balls in Bush possession, and there will be a foul on the Turks, and it's going to be kicked off by Bush.
Now, the number of substitutions that have happened in this game, is that normal?
Picked up by Bush. Yeah, some games there are a lot of substitution, other games there's none. Playing against teams that exhaust your players more will lead to more subs because you have to get your players on and off the field so they can like have a break and drink some water. But if you're kind of playing just like a nice easy game, there tends to be less subs, or if you have a full 11 that is like your
Now, the number of substitutions
core
that have happened in this
players,
game, is that normal?
coaches will typically want to play
yeah, some
them
games
longer because they will work better together.
Right.
Playing against teams that exhaust your players more will lead to more subs because you have to get your players on and off the field so they can like have a break and drink some water. But if you're kind of playing just like a nice easy game, there tends to be less subs, or if you have a full 11 that is like your
Now, the number of substitutions
core
that have happened in this
players,
game, is that normal?
coaches will typically want to play
yeah,
them
some games
longer because they will work better together.
Right.
Playing against teams that exhaust.
So, what sort of practice do you do to get ready for soccer, Kobe?
Well, to get ready for soccer season, before our actual season starts, there's a lot of just our whole team coming out here and playing. We'll go through some drills like sending the ball from one side of the field to the other, kind of in a zigzag formation, and work our way down the field and then back up. For goalies, it's a lot of just having people take shots on you over and over, getting used to that ball
What
coming
sort of
at
practice
you,
do you do
and
to get
instead
ready
of
for
trying
soccer,
to block
Kobe?
yourself, blocking the ball.
Was getting ready for soccer season.
And there's overall for the
before
whole
our actual
team,
season starts, there's a lot
we
of
tend to
just
still run a lot. Like we still run
our whole
before
team coming out here
we start
and
playing.
We'll go
We
through
still
some
stretch
drills
out.
like
So it's just kind of a lot of the same things that we do in
one side of the
practice.
field to the other, kind of in a zigzag formation, and work our way down the field and then back up. For goalies, it's a lot of
And is this halftime?
just having
Yes, this is halftime. As you can see, the clock still reads 2 minutes. Within the last 2 minutes of the 40-minute half, the ref can choose whatever stopping point he wants. So it's not just a flat cutoff. It's whenever the ref feels is a good time to stop the game
So it's
is
just kind of a
when
lot
it
of the
blows
same
whistle.
things that we do in practice. To the other, kind of in a zigzag formation, and work our way down the field.
All right. Well, we'll be back after the 10-minute half, so we hope to see you then.
Still reads 2 minutes. Within the last 2 minutes,
We hope that you can hear us then.
40-minute half, the ref can choose
Bye.
whatever stopping point he wants. So it's not just a flat cutoff. It's whenever the ref feels is a good time to stop the game is
Kind of
when
a
it
lot of the
blows
same
whistle.
things that we do in practice.
All right. Well, we'll be back after the 10-minute half, so we hope to see you then.
Not see questions are good.
The last 2 minutes.
We hope that you can hear us then.
40-minute half, the ref can choose
Bye.
Well, now you do though.
point he wants. So it's not just a flat cutoff. It's whenever the ref feels is a good time to stop the game is kind of a lot of the same things that we do in practice.
All right. Well, we'll be back after the 10-minute half, so we hope to see you then.
Not see questions are good.
We hope that you can hear us then. Bye.
Well, now you do though.
All right. Well, we'll be back after the 10-minute half, so we hope to see you then.
Not see questions are good.
We hope that you can hear us then. Bye.
Well, now you do though.
here, Dave?
Good. Just trying to work out a few bugs. Thanks, man. I appreciate you coming in.
You got it.
Big time.
I'm happy to be here
Big time.
to talk.
I wrangled your dad to do volleyball.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
He loves commentating for volleyball.
Does he?
Loves it.
He's committed. He's in.
Because he knows much about volleyball, and he's very like, so when he has to talk, he has to control himself more. He can't be like, oh my gosh,
Good.
like, that was the
Just
second
trying
thing I've
to-
ever seen. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you can't
Work
say
out a
that.
few-
on
He
the
does all the time.
He's a much nicer.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you coming in.
I remember once in
He's like, oh, Claire, no, that's not right. I wrangled your dad to
Did
do.
you hear the story one time?
Oh, did you?
When I was in 8th grade playing volleyball and I did something really bad.
Now,
And he
he's
stood up and
committed.
said,
He's in.
Claire, that was terrible. So,
Good reinforcement. Good. Trying to. He does. All the time. I like being a scorekeeper, honestly. Yeah. He's like, oh, Claire. Whip the flag a few times. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? Charlie wants to build a platform so we can film from up there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We're gonna we're putting a press box over there.
Oh.
See where the stands are right there? Directly kind of in front of the 35-yard line, 30-yard line? Okay, so those stands are going to scoot over to the dugout.
Yeah.
And then about where those stands start on the left-hand side there, the press box is going to go right there, 20 feet over. And it'll be 2 shipping containers high, windows all the way around, and it'll be our press box for streaming.
Wow. And is that just for softball, or
It's
is it
gonna
softball and football?
It's softball, football, and soccer. Because the
And
windows will
soccer,
be all the way
right.
around.
Yes.
And the top, there'll be a top, a deck on top.
Oh.
So 2 shipping containers high, about where those stands.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
Right? It's gonna be way cool. It's gonna be way cool.
Hey, do you know if you're doing the state wrestling meet yet?
I don't know. I should probably email them and find out. Because you want to do that, right? You want
I'd love to do that. That'd be so cool.
It's gonna
Commentate for state wrestling.
It's softball, football, and soccer. I know windows will be all the way around.
Yes.
I know we were invited to the Tacoma Dome to do the first 2 days of playoffs for basketball. Right.
Oh, very cool.
The last 3 days they bring in a professional crew. I guess we're not professional.
Don't bring me to that.
I
I don't know.
don't.
I'd love
Yeah, top 50 in the country out of 3,000 schools. I know. Where we were invited to the
after volleyball, every day, it's usually the day after volleyball.
So I'm trying really hard to make everything HD this year, but we're running into equipment issues.
As it with the cameras.
Both cameras, computer, mixer, everything. Like this stream's HD. 50 in the country out of 3,000 schools.
Why can't you stream HD everywhere then?
Because we don't have as good of equipment everywhere else. This is like the best of everything that we have, which is sad.
Okay. Can you not take it out everywhere else, or is it hooked up for only?
Well, we have
So,
like
I'm trying
for
really hard to
football,
make
we have to
everything
stream out of a cart because we have more than one camera.
We're running into
So we have a cart downstairs and a computer built into that cart,
I-
and then we have 2 portable
both
kits
cameras,
because soccer and volleyball happen at the same time.
Like this
so
stream's
they're
HD.
right? I'm with you. So volleyball is going to get the HD
Because we don't have.
next week.
Yes.
Nick, did you, or not Nick?
You should tell everybody you know, come to volleyball game.
Heck yeah, how's Lolly doing, by the way? Sorry.
Can you not take it out everywhere?
Yeah, of course, she's the JV coach, so I'm
Well, we
not
have
like
so you
with
have
her a
football, we
lot.
have to stream that.
But, you know, when we are all together, obviously she doesn't talk as much as Jason. Jason's also a talker, so that's
We
good.
have 2 talkers.
Yeah.
Because
Okay, I see
Like,
that.
yeah, she came and helped a couple times, but, you know, like, Jason's the talker, so he talks a lot. But she, you know, like, I go up and ask her all the time, like, hey, what am I doing wrong with this? So, yeah, she's been, you know, I hope she's enjoying it. I'm really enjoying her.
I think she is. I think she is.
Yeah, okay, I gotta go because my mother's picking me up. So bye. I'll see you guys. Thanks for letting me
Bye, thank you.
commentate for 40 minutes.
Well, thanks
Talking
for
about
thanks for
nothing.
filling in.
Totally welcome. Like I said, if you ever ever need me to commentate for anything,
Really?
I'm totally up for it. Oh yeah.
So you've seen the videos Maddie's been doing, right?
Yeah.
We want you to do the same thing.
Yeah, you would talk to me one time about that, but then it
You're
never.
so busy.
Yeah.
You
But
are
yeah,
like always busy.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's. Can you come to a production meeting? What time's volleyball practice?
Done tomorrow.
Mondays.
Monday volleyball practice. I have volleyball practice from
Bye, thank you.
3:45 to 6.
Well, thanks for. So if we had our production meeting at the high school, you could come to. Really?
Right after school. Yep. I
So you've seen the videos Maddie's been doing.
Yeah.
We want you to do the same thing.
Do you have my mom's
so
email?
busy.
You could just email us.
I have your brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that works too. You can just text him. Okay, I gotta go so my mom doesn't
Okay.
leave without me.
She
That-
will?
Yeah,
She
but
will
I'd
do
love.
that?
Oh, yeah, she'll go back there and be like, okay. She'll text me like, okay, where are you? Like, I'm gonna leave. She wouldn't actually leave me.
So if we had our
Get
production
annoyed with me.
meeting at
Okay.
the high school. Okay, bye.
Did Tech Club ever get like that bus that you guys wanted?
It comes off this year, off appreciation. So if we want it, it's ours at the end of this year.
Depreciation. I remember talking about that like
I appreciation
sophomore
your
year.
brothers.
Yeah, it was sophomore year that we talked about that.
Yeah, that one broke down and wasn't getting
different bus
fixed.
now?
Yeah, so this is a new one. Okay. She will?
Yeah, but I'd love. Oh, yeah, she'll go back there and be like, okay. She'll text me like, okay, where are
Yep,
you?
I think so.
She wouldn't actually.
Go. As soon as you turn on that mic, you're live. Okay, bye. It comes off this year, off appreciation. So if we want it, it's ours at the end of this year.
Hello there, everyone. My name's Nicholas Sorgen, and I'm back here with,
Kobe Munn.
and we are returning to
Yeah, that one broke down.
commentating for soccer. So we are now, 50 minutes into the game?
40 minutes into the game with a 10-minute halftime.
Okay.
For some reason, the clock is set at 20 minutes.
All right, so currently the score is 0-0. What happens if... Hello there, everyone. No one scores a point. My name's Nicholas Sorgen, and I'm back
If
here
no one
with...
scores a point, typically they will
And
leave it
we
as
are
a tie
returning
until
to,
they get into the playoffs, and that's when it'll
commentating
go
for soccer.
to either a golden goal, which is basically next goal wins, or a penalty shootout, which is
So we are now, 50 minutes into
most
the game?
of the team lines up in a straight
40
line
minutes
somewhere
into the game
behind the
with
18.
a 10.5
And can you see that small yellow line kind of in between the 6-yard goal box and the
All right,
18?
so currently the score is 0-0.
I can, yes.
What happens if...
Right there, the ball will be set for a penalty
No one
kick,
scores a point.
and it'll be just the
No one
shooter
scores a
and the
point.
goalie. And after however many rounds it takes, whichever team has the most goals scored will then be the winner.
Now, pardon the reference, is that, for instance, the Studio C Scott Sterling video with soccer?
Yes.
That's where that's set. Okay.
Yes, that is all a penalty kick.
Got it. I can.
If right there, the ball will be set for a penalty kick, and it'll be just the shooter. So apparently, right now the clock is set to 20 because of the smoke here. We're going to allow halfway through the half, so 3/4 through the game, a small break for water.
Pardon the reference.
Very,
very
hot day outside.
The Studio
Very
C
hot, very
Scott
smoky.
Sterling video with soccer.
Yes,
That's where that's set. Okay.
Yes, that is right now. The ball was kicked out behind the goal, and will be placed as a corner kick.
So how is at the beginning of the game? How is it decided who will start on which side?
It's decided by first a coin toss by the ref with the captains of each team, and then whichever team wins the coin toss will decide which half they want first, and the possession, or who starts with the possession. Typically, for later games, such as the boys' varsity games in springtime, 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. is when our games start, and the sun is still up.
So how is
Therefore,
at the beginning of the game?
since
How
the
is
sun
it
is in
decided
the
who will
west,
start on which
we
side?
want to start with our backs to the sun, because by the time halftime is over and we switch sides, the sun will already be set and will be just to the stadium lights, and that will mean that our team is, and our goalkeeper is never facing directly into the sun without the possession, or with like the typically blindingness of it, and that will put the other team in a position where the whole first half they're looking straight into the sun anytime they're trying to shoot or the goalie's trying to block.
And just a moment ago, Amanda McKay had a very nice save. The goal. Just acknowledging that. Good work, Amanda.
So now the ball is out of bounds by the Turks.
And that will mean that our team is, and our goalkeeper is never facing directly into the center or with like the typically blindingness of it. And that will put the other team.
We've thrown in by Bush, and a header back out of bounds by Bush will be picked up by number 11, Nessa Day for the Turks.
And just a moment ago, and Amanda McKay had a very nice what position has Nessa been playing this game? Has she been the mid?
From the looks of it, I believe she has been a mid.
Is out of bounds by the Turks. And that will mean that our team.
So how is it usually determined who will get the ball when it goes out of bounds? Is that preset usually when they like in practice, or is it always the mids or?
Usually not. It's kind of whoever is closer to the ball. Once in a while, you'll have someone really good at throwing in the ball, and they will take most of them if they're in that general area. Like obviously, if the ball goes out on the left side
what position has
and
Nessa
like
been
the
playing
left
this game?
side
Has she been the mid?
closer, like to the other team's goal box, you're not going to have the right side defense run all the way across the field to get the ball.
So how is it usually determined who will get
if
the
your
ball
right side
when it
defender
goes out
is
of
the
bounds?
best thrower on the
Is that
team, and
preset
it's
usually
somewhere
when they
along the
play in
right side,
practice, or is it
they'll
always
simply
the
have
mids,
Usually not. It's kind
that
of
player
whoever's closer
take
to
the
the ball.
throw.
Once in a while, you'll have someone.
And right now we have another free kick for Bush.
And
We
they
kicked up,
will
and
take most of them if they're in that general area. Like obviously, if the ball
Bush will
goes
get
out on
possession of the
left
ball.
side
What
and,
position has Nessa
like
been
the
playing
left
this game?
side.
Has she been the mid?
Closer, like to the other team's goal box, you're not going to have.
Ball
the
is sent
right side
through
defense
to
run
the
all
left
way
side
across the
forward,
field to
and
get the ball.
Amanda McKay runs out to save it just inside the 18.
Is the best thrower on the team.
Wow, close one there.
Somewhere along the right side, they'll simply have. Usually not. It's kind of that player.
Now, why does the goalie wear such a different
We
color?
have another free kick for
It's to be able to decipher them from the rest of the team. So if the goalie is in the box and someone shoots the ball, for the ref, it makes it to where if the goalie reaches out and touches it with their hands, the ref's not going to think it's a different player and call a foul. And also because
Wow, close one there.
it allows them to be seen easier for if like the defenders need to
Now,
pass
why
the
does
ball
the
back
goalie
to the
wear
goalie,
such a different
which
color?
tends to happen quite a bit.
to be
If
able
there's
to
too much pressure on the
decipher
defense,
them
they'll
from the
kick the
rest
ball
of
back
the
to the goalie, and the goalie
So
can
if
send it up the field. It allows the goalie to be
is
seen
in the
easier by
box,
them. And I think they look pretty cool.
So is the goalie required to wear a different uniform, or is it just what they do?
They are required to wear a different color. Most goalies, like both goalies on our team are wearing, will wear a long sleeve, specially made goalie shirt. However,
which tends to happen quite a bit.
some goalies do just wear short sleeve shirts that are still goalie shirts but don't have the padding on the elbows, which come in very handy for when you're diving.
So is the
help
goalie
block out the
required to
turf
wear a
burn.
different uniform, or is it just what they do?
As well as the pants that
to wear a different color.
our goalkeeper Amanda McKay is wearing. Most goalies will typically wear pants. Their team's goalie, Bush's goalie, is wearing shorts, and that's all preference. Sometimes knees are a lot stronger than elbows, so having shorts isn't really as big of a difference as short sleeve to long sleeve shirt.
Still goalie shirts, but don't have the padding on the elbows, which come in very handy for when you're diving.
So is the
help
goalie
block out the
required to
turf
wear a
burn.
different uniform, or is it just what they do?
As well as the pants that
our
our goalkeeper Amanda McKay is wearing. Most goalies will typically wear pants. Their team's goalie, Bush's goalie, is wearing shorts, and that's all preference. Sometimes knees are a lot stronger than elbows, so having shorts isn't really as big of a difference as short sleeves to long sleeves.
Yeah, so this year, I know the girls' soccer team got a new coach, who I believe is Faith Kindle's dad. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but over far across the field in a white T-shirt is the old coach T.J. Nicholas, I think.
Yes, it is.
Just coming to watch.
You've already seen him say hi to the old team.
having shorts isn't really as big of a difference as short sleeve to long sleeve.
Yeah, so this year, I know the girls' soccer team got a new coach, who I believe is Faith Kindle's dad. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but over far across the field in a white T-shirt is the old coach T.J. Nicholas, I think.
So let's take a little off-topic thing
Just
about
coming to
Turk Pride
watch.
TV. This is pretty new. Turk Pride TV is now archiving all games, both on NFHS Network and on YouTube. So you can now watch any of the games we stream on demand on the TurkPride.tv
this year,
YouTube channel.
I know the
So
girls soccer team
great
got
for
a
those
new
smart
coach,
TVs.
so I believe Faith Kindle's dad. Gotta love those smart TVs. That's cool. Like smartphones. I don't know if you can see it, but over far across the field in the white T-shirt is the old coach T. So what would happen if one of our players or one of their players were to get away, get the ball and like make a break for the goal? Does that have a name for anything?
Archiving all games
Breakaway.
both on NFHS network and
Yeah,
on YouTube.
it's a breakaway that will then
Watch any of the
result
games we stream
usually in a
on demand on
1v1,
TurkPride.tv
which is
YouTube
the
channel.
one person on the
Great for those smart
on the
TVs.
opposing team up against the one goalkeeper. And typically in those kind of
Gotta
situations,
love those smart
uh,
TVs.
the
Like
player
smartphones.
that's handling the ball will try to shoot later rather than sooner because the goalkeeper
So
will
what would happen
typically try to
if
come
one of
out
our
of the
players
box
or one of their players were
and,
to get away, get
if
the
you
ball
can
and
imagine
like, make
the
a break for
goalkeeper
the goal?
coming
Does
out,
that
the
have a name
closer
for
that they
anything?
get, the bigger they appear to the player that has the ball, which then means that there's less room on the outside of the goalie to shoot for the goal.
On the opposing team, up against the
So you
one
kind of have to find a
goalkeeper.
good balance
And
for that, because if
typically
you shoot
in
from
those
too
kind
far
of
away,
situations,
then there's not as much
the
room
player
anyway,
that's
because the
handling
goal will
will
appear
try to
smaller
shoot
from your perception.
later rather
Uh,
than sooner,
and it's harder to
because
shoot
the
from farther
goalkeeper
away
will
and
try
get
to
it on frame
players
from there.
and
But
get
getting
it-
too close will then result in the goalie being basically right on top of the ball, and that's when the goalie can just drop down and
the
catch the
bigger
ball.
they appear to the player that has the ball, which then means that there's less room on the outside of
So right there, the ball was
to shoot.
kicked out by senior number 17, Lauren Landis, and will be thrown back in by number 14 from Bush.
Too far away, then there's not as much room anyway, because the goal will appear smaller from your perception. And it's harder to shoot from farther away and get it on frame from there.
So Nick, back to your previous question about there being like a designated person to throw in for the teams. It appears to be that anytime the ball is going out on the left side for Bush, number 14 appears to be taking it more often. I think that's kind of what's going on here, is that she kind of either has a farther throw or better at aiming the throws. And so they're kind of having her take them more, because I've noticed when Bush's left side was closest to us,
So Nick, back to your previous
she was like
question about
picking up almost all of them, and now that she's on the other side, the last few that we've had for Bush throw-ins that were on that side were also taken by her.
The left side for Bush, number 14 appears to be taking it more often. I think that's kind of what's going on here, is that she kind of either has a farther throw or better at aiming the throws. And so they're kind of having her take them more, because I've noticed.
It looks
when
like we have
Bush's
an
left side was
offsides, I
closest to
believe,
us,
on Bush.
Now what's an offsides?
The offsides is when there's a player from the opposite team that gets behind the defenders. So the defenders are like the last line between the field play and the goalkeeper, and whoever's the farthest back defender kind of sets that line. So if one of the other team's forwards passes the defender and gets in between the furthest back defender and the goalkeeper,
looks like we have
that is considered an
offsides,
offsides.
I believe, on Bush.
All right. Now what's an offsides?
The offsides is when
Yes, but if the
there's a player
ball
from
does not
the
get played to them, then
opposite
it
team
typically
that
doesn't
gets
matter.
behind the defenders. So the defenders
Got
are like the last line between the field play and the goalkeeper, and whoever's the farthest back defender kind of sets that line. So if one of the other team's forwards passes the defender and gets in between the furthest back defender and the goalkeeper, looks like we have that is considered an offsides, I believe, on Bush.
Just a quick shout out to Sky Valley Inc., one of our sponsors for Turk Pride TV. They provided the Turk Pride TV crew with their amazing polo shirts. If you need custom screen printing or vinyl banners or lettering, let's go to Sky Valley Inc., reach out to Carrie Filcher at skyvalleyinc@gmail.com, or you can head to the banner at turkpride.tv.
Passes the defender and gets in between the furthest back defender and the goalkeeper, that is considered an offside.
Just a quick shout out to.
So I know,
Sky
like,
Valley
in soccer,
you're not allowed to touch the ball with your hands.
Does that involve the entire arm?
The Turk
up to the shoulder,
with their
or-
amazing polo shirts.
Typically
if
it
you need
involves
custom
up to
screen
the
printing or
elbow.
vinyl
You usually
banners or
can't
lettering,
control when it hits your upper arm.
Go to Sky Valley Inc., reach
uh,
out to Carrie Filcher at
Now, if you're
Sky Valley
intentionally
Inc.
reaching out
at
for it, there are refs that
gmail.com.
will call it, even
Or
if
you can head to the
it's,
banner at turkpride.tv.
like near the shoulder area if you're intentionally trying to stick your upper arm out. But usually it is just up to the elbow.
Just a quick shout out to
So I know, like,
Sky Valley.
in soccer, you're not allowed to touch the ball with your.
That being said,
hand.
most refs
Is that-
also would
does
not
that
call,
involve the
say
entire
you're
arm?
running down the field
Like
and
to the
someone
shoulder with- or-
kicks the ball and it like hits your hand. If you're not reaching for the ball, if it appears that you have no intention to be touching the ball, the ref will typically not call this.
Ah.
Refs that will call it, even
Or
if
you can hit the
it's,
banner at TubePride.tv.
like near the shoulder area if you're intentionally trying to stick your upper arm out. But usually,
Why are the refs holding their flags up between their hands? Is it like an advertisement Subway, like for the $5 footlong, or?
No, there was supposed to be a sub in there. However, it was missed because the player from Bush did not see that apparently. So put the ball back into play. Touching the ball, the ref will typically not call this.
Or you can hit the banner at TubePride.tv.
Like near the shoulder area if you're intentionally trying to stick your upper arm out.
Why are the refs holding their
So now the
flags
ball's
up
being
between
played
their
back
hands? Is it like
inbounds
an
by
advertisement
Bush.
Subway, like for the $5 footlong, or?
No, there was supposed to be a
Looks like it was about to be a
scoring
attempt,
blocked by Lauren
However,
Landis.
it was
missed because the player and there's a shot on goal right into Amanda McKay. So put the ball back into play.
Amanda McKay seems to be very good at just being right where the ball is when it's getting kicked at her.
Oh yeah, that definitely happens a lot with goalies when it's coming from farther shots. There's less room for the ball ready to go, and you can adjust a lot sooner, so the ball will just end up coming straight to you because you're already in the spot that you need to be with plenty of time. No, there was supposed to be looks like it was about to be a scoring attempt. Ball is played back inbounds by Bush and kicked back to the Bush defense.
Amanda McKay seems to be very good at just being right where the ball is when it's getting kicked at her.
Oh yeah, that definitely happens a lot with goalies when it's coming from farther shots. There's less room for the ball ready to go, and you can adjust a lot sooner, so the ball will just end up coming straight to you because you're already.
So I noticed when Amanda McKay seems to be picking up the ball, she always seems to be scooping it from underneath. Is that just the safest way to pick up the ball, or is there a method to it?
Yes, that is the safest way to pick up the ball. If you put both hands underneath the ball and keep your elbows kind of together, the ball's not going to go through your hands, and even if it does go past your hands, it's going to be blocked by your arms, and then be rolled then into your chest. Whereas if you try to just pick up the ball like from the top or from the sides, there's always a chance of
So I noticed when
the ball
Amanda McKay
slipping
seems to be
through.
picking up the ball, she always seems to be scooping it from underneath. Is that just the safest way to pick up the ball, or is there a method to it?
Yes, that is the safest way to pick up the ball. If you put both hands underneath the ball and keep your elbows kind of together, the ball's not going to go. The ball's played back in from an out of bounds. Go past your hands. Bush. It's going to be blocked by the Turks, and then Bush now has possession around center field. If you try to just pick up the ball like from the top or from the sides, ball is kicked out by the Turks and will be picked back up by Bush.
She always seems to be scooping it from underneath. I think a pretty good block by, is that Ashley? Way to pick up the ball, or Ace?
Method to it?
Yes, Ashley Evans, number 3. That, however, Nick, was not a block. Lots of times what the other players will do if they're running towards the sideline and there's another player right next to them from the opposite team is try to kick the ball into the other player. That way it bounces off of them and goes out of bounds. You don't want to kick your own ball out of bounds. You'd rather have the other team do it. Therefore, by kicking it into them and sending it out, you just get the ball back into your team's possession.
Interesting.
That, however, Nick, was not a block. Lots of times what the other players will do if they're running towards the sideline and there's another player right next to them from the opposite team is try to kick the ball into the other player. That way it bounces off of them and goes out of bounds. You don't want to kick your own ball out of bounds. You'd rather have the other team do it. Therefore, by kicking it into them and sending it out, you just get the ball back into your team's possession.
Interesting. I'd like to thank another one of our sponsors, Sultan Turks Youth Basketball. A big thanks to them, because without their support, we would never have gotten the brand new scoreboard. And I don't know about you, Kobe, but I think it looks fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
And so they allowed us to put in those projectors to just give it a new, clean look, to customize scoreboards for the different sports. So big thanks to Sultan Turks Youth Basketball.
Just to be clear, for those of you watching, those are the new scoreboards that we have inside of our
I'd like
gym.
to thank another one of our
The scoreboard we have out
sponsors,
here is not a
Sultan
projector.
Turks Youth Basketball. A big thanks to them, because without their support, we would never have
Bolts?
gotten the
Oh.
brand new scoreboard.
No.
I don't know about you, Kobe, but I think it looks fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
And so they allowed us to put in those projectors to just give it a new, clean look, to customize it.
Okay, right now there's another throw in from
scoreboards for
Bush.
different sports.
Be put right back out of bounds.
Big
and
thanks to
picked up
Sultan
by
Turks
the
Youth
Turks.
Basketball.
And just to be clear, for those of you watching, those are the new scoreboards that we have inside of our
I'd like
gym.
to thank another one of our
The ball is thrown
sponsors,
into number 7,
Sultan
Faith
Turks
Kindle.
Youth Basketball. A big thanks to them, because without their support, we would never have
Bolts?
gotten the
Oh.
brand new
And it appears
scoreboard.
No.
there is a foul on the play on Bush. And the free kick will be taken
So they allowed
by
us to
senior
put in
number
those
17, Lauren
projectors to just
Landis.
give it a new, clean look, to customize it.
Okay, right now there's another throw in from
scoreboards for
Bush.
different sports.
Be put right back out of bounds.
I'm always impressed whenever the ball's flying through the air and people manage to just kick it out of the air, right back up into the air. I don't have that sort of coordination.
Yeah, that is sort of coordination, and also just lots of times it is luck. You put your foot out there, hope the ball hits it. And it appears there is a foul on the play on Bush. And the free kick. And there we have another 17, Lauren Landis. Saved by Amanda McKay, who will kick it back out.
I'm always impressed whenever the ball's flying through the air and people manage to just
bounds
kick
by
it out of the air,
Turks.
right back up into the air. I don't have that sort of
Bush
coordination.
picks the ball back up. Yeah, that is sort of coordination, and also just lots of times it is luck. You put your foot out there, hope the ball hits it. Foul on the play on Bush. And the free kick. And there we have another. Bush drops the ball back to their right side defense. McKay, who will kick it back out.
I'm always impressed whenever the ball's flying through the air and people manage to just kick it out of the air, right back up into the air. I don't have that sort of
Bush
coordination.
picks the ball back up. Yeah, that is sort of coordination.
So why would someone hit the ball with their chest or head? Is that to get it in a position for them to kick it?
Yes. Well, typically the hitting the ball with their chest is a result of trying to trap the ball. Like if the ball's coming at them, the chest will stop the ball where it's at and won't bounce off as far. Whereas trying to block it like with your head or your knee allows a lot of room for the ball to bounce off and then go elsewhere. So that's why.
So why would someone
teams
hit
a
the
lot of
ball with
times
their
try to use their
chest or head?
to
Is
block
that
the
to
ball?
get it in a
Their head
position
is
for them to
for
kick it?
if the ball's going to go over
yes,
them,
well,
you can't really get your
typically
foot up. Well, most people can't really get their
involved
foot up
with
that
their
high,
chest
and even
is,
when they do, can't be as controlled. So they'll use their heads, and it's actually a really good resource for passing off the ball when the ball is in
Stop
midair.
the ball.
Ah.
Won't bounce off as far. Whereas trying to block it like with your head or your knee allows a lot of room. So it appears that we are halfway through the second half. So 3/4 of the way through the game,
That's why.
and
someone hit the ball with
the
their,
game has stopped
chest
so
or
that
head?
the
Is that
teams
to get it in
could
a
rest.
Their head
position
is
for them
for.
to kick it?
While we're on this, we can give another shout out to Windmill Espresso. As the first supporter of Turk Pride TV, the Windmill Espresso has always been there for our crew. Each game, commentators on TurkPride.tv name a Windmill Espresso player of the game. That player receives a free drink of their choice at the Windmill Espresso.
So we're making sure to do that at the end of this game.
Yes.
Another one of our sponsors is the Sultan High School Booster Club. They also donated to the new scoreboard project within the gym. They're always there for our club, sports, and anything when they're called upon. They even provide a meal to our stream producers every game. Thank you very much, boosters.
So Nick, now the second year in a row, TurkPride.tv has earned elite honors. We earned select honors from NFHS Network. What does this mean, you ask?
I do ask.
It means Sultan sets the bar on quality streaming, consistent streaming, and of course, one of the loudest and proudest crowds in the nation. Only the top 40 broadcasting programs earn this honor in our country. Over 3,000 schools participate in the NFHS broadcasting network.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh, yeah, I think that's pretty good if we're in the top 40 of that. We should also give a big thanks to our coaches. Without their help and cooperation, we would never have been able to provide the manpower needed to run our cameras. And if you're interested on helping out in TurkPride.tv, we're always looking for help running cameras, producing live events, on-air talent, or super talent such as Nick and myself.
Super talent.
Have a great idea for some original TurkPride.tv programming? Come and pitch it. Just reach out to any Tech Club member or Dave Moon. And it looks like they're getting ready to start the game soon. The players are coming back onto the field.
All right, so why is the ball starting? Is the ball starting where it was left off at the end of the 20 minutes earlier, and that's why it's not quite in the middle?
Yeah, since it's not an official, break, they just, because of the air quality and the heat here, gave it to them. They're just gonna pick up the ball right where they left off.
Yeah, it's been a very smoky day out. I know.
And there's a goal by Bush,
Oh.
scored by number 5 from inside the 18.
That was a good shot by Bush, but I'm sure Sultan will come back now and score 2 points.
Let's do it. Faith Kendall drops the ball back to the defense. So right there, Nick, as you saw, number 3, Ashley Evans, blocked out the
Bush player
from Bush to allow the goalkeeper, Amanda McKay, to pick up the ball without her obstructing the ball, because once your team touches the ball, the goalkeeper can no longer pick it up.
Yeah, I think you had mentioned this to me once before, yeah.
Now Turks are back in possession, send the ball up the field. Looks like it's going to be taken by the Bush goalkeeper on her feet. And ball is out of bounds on Sultan.
This is another time to give another shout out to the Cascade Athletics, your one-stop source of all WIA athletics scores and statistics. Be sure to stop by their website and browse their game picture catalog. It's updated daily with all the games happening across the state.
So as we just missed Nick, soccer line refs are typically very lenient. The ref was pointing for the ball to be in Sultan possession. However, because no one from Sultan was going up to get the ball, the players from Bush already had the ball in possession. When the players from Bush threw the ball in, the refs didn't do anything about it because soccer refs tend to be a lot more lenient about who has possession. If Sultan's not going to go after the ball themselves, the refs will let it slide.
And this is a normal occurrence?
Yes. Sometimes there's a little bit of a debate on who actually kicked the ball out, especially when there's 2 players super close together from opposite teams. So no matter what the refs think, whichever player actually goes up and grabs it and goes to throw it in will typically get possession if the opposing team backs off the ball. So it appears there's going to be another goal kick taken by senior Lauren Landis and a sub in for Bush.
So here she's going to kick further to the right, so that way, like you had mentioned before, it will not be close to the goal.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Oh.
And it appears there was a foul on the play on Bush, and the free kick will be taken again by senior number 17, Lauren Landis.
I don't know. Has Lauren Landis been playing all 4 years now?
Yes. So the ball is kicked out of bounds by the Bush goalkeeper and sent up into the stands. There's a nice fan throwing the ball back out to the Turks. Throw is taken by number 7, Faith Kindle. And Sultan now has possession of the ball. Ball is back out of bounds again by the Turks and will be picked up by Bush.
So she seemed to move a lot along the line there. Is there a certain place, like, limit to the, like, how far they can move?
Yeah, so wherever the ball goes out of bounds is where they're technically supposed to take the throws, but like most things in soccer, the refs are very lenient. If the player is going to take the throw behind the marked spot by the ref, then the ref will typically let them take it from however far back they want because it's not giving them any kind of advantage. However, if they start going in front of the spot that was marked, the refs usually won't stop anything until it gets too far. That's usually about 2, maybe 3 yards allowance until the ref will have them come back.
You're my seat.
Hey,
And the ball is kicked out of bounds again
Jason,
by
how'd
Sultan
that for you?
and picked up by Bush.
Cross country?
Yeah.
Have a seat, my man.
So you don't know how to run this yet.
Neither do I.
Ball is back to the Bush goalkeeper who picks it up.
How long is she allowed to carry the ball?
Oh, well, I mean,
I know there is a time limit, but I
call
do
this
not know
a
what that
learning
is.
Experience.
6 seconds? Okay, I've been told it is 6 seconds, and that will be very good to know next season because I have been called for that before.
Max.
Oh, that was a block there, right?
Yeah, there was a good block by senior Lauren
The smaller
Landis,
you make
who's
this
taking it
window,
up the field,
the
and
less load it is on the CPU.
blocked
So
by
we can
Bush.
Drop that down to 74.
ball is out of bounds by Bush and will be picked back up
So
by
what
number
I was
3
looking
for
for, I was
Sultan,
trying to see
Ashley
if I saw
Evans.
something where you could lock this in place. Lock position. So you can't accidentally move it. We had a big problem with that.
She'll throw the ball to 19 Michaela Center.
Excellent. Had a big problem with the baseball. You'd accidentally click on it and move it. It's super sensitive.
Yeah.
But I think that lock is new to this version. So, so how this works now is we create
Ball
Create
is
a
out of
s-
bounds on Bush.
a
And picked up by
schedule
Sultan.
in NFHS Network and YouTube, and then we broadcast to both simultaneously. This laptop's not cutting it. We can't broadcast to both.
We need an actual computer probably, right?
Well, I ordered a Alienware gaming laptop with a real video card.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be able to do it just fine. Cost $1,000.
Ball is sent out of bounds by Bush.
All right. So
Picked
that-
up by
Yeah.
Turks number 7, Faith Kindle.
Oh yeah, they're nice. They were better before Dell bought them. They're nice.
Another,
let's give you live feedback.
Big thank you to one of our sponsors, Sultan Chiropractic. Dr. Koppel has been serving Valley for many years. Sponsoring TurkPride.tv is just one of the many community programs he has gotten behind. Everyone should be pain free. Dr. Koppel is always
So you have to
accepting
make
new
sure you have
patients.
in football.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought another one of those, and
The ball is picked up by the Bush goalkeeper, who will take it out to the 18, and
so
is
with
going to
the
kick
portable
it
kits,
to
we'll have that
about
mixer, which
middle
will
of the
replace
field.
this as well, because it needs sound
Nope.
as well. And then you have multiple cameras with HDMI.
Oh, Lauren Landis with an impressive kick backwards.
So that's coming.
Michaela Center
That's-
now has the
that
ball
will
running
be
towards the goal and
sure
is kicked
at-
way out right.
Volleyball. Connect the volleyball game. No question. That'll be
Now it appears to be a sub for Bush.
That's nice.
No, it's next week. There's football this week, and that's it. So I'm not really
And I
telling
believe that
you
is number
anything
2 for
because
Bush.
It's kind of just patched together and it's all wrong. Like this device is going to go away. This device is going to go away. We'll have the HD mixer and the laptop, and that's really about it. And with the HD mixer, we have multiple cameras coming in, and then you can just pick which camera you want.
Only about 10 minutes left on the
Sound
clock.
for our announcers or
Yes,
you,
with 10 minutes
sitting
left on the
as a
clock,
producer,
Bush
and
is
you
up
can
1-0.
all that stuff on the box.
And once the clock hits about 5 or 6 minutes, you will definitely see a change in the
Scorekeeping
game.
will happen on this.
You'll see
There's a little score button.
the
little program that sits on top and you just
players
change
from
the
Bush start to
score.
try to play a lot more possession of the ball instead of trying to score, just keeping the ball away from the Turks. And the Turks will be trying a lot harder to get the ball down the field as fast as they can. That way they have the most opportunities to shoot the ball. Because the more often you shoot the ball, the more likely you are to score it.
Ah,
Typically.
just a numbers game.
Yes.
She's sleeping, that's why. Oh, okay. I would change clothes, so that's good. Monroe McDonald's
There's
having a
Lauren
baby night
Landis
tonight,
with
they
a
open
kick
up
out of
Thursday.
bounds.
Oh, that's cool.
So my mom's like, come over and eat.
I feel as though being the goalie in these situations can be very difficult because all of a sudden it's on one end of the field for, 15 minutes or so, and then all of a sudden it comes right over to you and you gotta be ready again.
Because there's no JV.
Oh yeah, it's
There's no
definitely
JV.
She's gonna get varsity time.
there's definitely a lot of
Why is the
confusion
turnout
involved
so
in it. There are games where the ball is back and forth constantly, and there are games where you don't touch the ball the entire halves.
All the freshmen that just came in. Like at tryouts, there was like, I don't know how many girls.
Wow. That was,
So right there was a save by Amanda McKay that will go out behind the goal and will result in a corner.
Yeah,
so cool, the new McDonald's. What's different from the new McDonald's from the old McDonald's?
A lot. Like you have to go in there and look at it.
So while we're waiting for them to set up this corner, we can give another shout out to
They have
Rico's
a
Pizza
ton
and
of
Gold
menu
Bar.
boards for the drive-through.
Oh, really?
Be sure to mention that you saw this
And it works
or
in the
heard
same
this ad
system
on
that my mom
turkpride.tv.
uses to update the stuff inside.
Mm-hmm.
All she has to do is go to a website. And
I've had
she
Rico's
updates
Pizza
it
quite a few
website.
times. It's really good.
And it pushes out.
Mm.
And
The
we also do
the Kobe
same thing.
stamp of recommendation.
Oh, definitely.
So what does that mean? Just to make sure it works.
The corner is taken
Good practice.
and will be saved by Amanda
It's not
McKay.
good to have a computer on the entire day. So
She will kick it out, and it'll go out of bounds.
I have a feeling Jamie might be a backup goalie. 'Cause that's the only thing she has experience
Is
with.
she seriously sleeping? Did you say she was sleeping?
My older sister is. She's sitting in the
Oh.
parking lot.
Isn't she? I thought she was off in school.
She's back.
Why is she back? Doesn't school start now?
No.
So the Turks will take the throw in.
She only went to. How BYU works is they have 3 semesters. So you have fall, winter, and spring. They call them semesters when it should be trimesters,
Trimester.
but whatever. They work in semesters. And she only went for. The last
Now, would that have been a
2
pick right there
semesters. She's gonna
by
be back
Casey
in all
Gonzalez?
online classes.
Oh,
No, it would
cool.
not have
That's
been because
cool.
the ball went right back to Bush
They had to
possession
go
after
back?
Ah,
uh,
No.
she had blocked it.
Just one body and have to get out of the house because Justin's moved back in.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Doesn't he work at Boeing? He can
No.
afford to live on his own.
He was a
So right there you just saw
contractor.
Lauren Landis
Oh.
block
They
out
had
the
him
ball
an
for
extra year,
Amanda McKay to pick it up.
Then they had him on the go. Because they let all the contractors go, except for one contractor in the whole factory. So he's working nights at McDonald's right now. In Bothell. Because at the time that was closest to
now I know a thing I've heard a lot about, but I haven't seen this game. Are slide tackles as frequent as I feel like they are in my mind?
No, slide tackles are definitely a really big thing that people who don't really watch a lot of soccer are familiar with. However, they don't really happen that often, especially in the high school level. It's really easy to be called
So what's neat about
as a
this is that
foul
you get live feedback.
because they're so easy to do
When we have the
incorrectly.
real
For
laptop,
example, If you're going to slide tackle, the first thing that you touch must be the ball. If you touch the ball first and then the player trip that has the ball, you won't be called for a foul. But if the player trips over your leg and you didn't make contact with the ball, that will be a foul. Or if it just doesn't look like you're going for the ball in general, like if it looks like you're just trying to trip the player, it can be called a foul. And most of the time that's what happens is the player will go into slide, and even if they are trying to go for the ball, will end up missing and have a foul called.
You put another screen onto there.
There's another shot on goal, blocked by Amanda McKay.
But you know what? Our new laptop is going to be a pan.
Yeah.
Without question. And it has a.
We plug in the new screen in through the mixer. How is that going to work?
So
She kicks it back
couple
out,
choices.
and
One,
it looks like the ball is going to be in Bush
You
possession.
can plug an external monitor into the mixer, but it has a built-in screen that will show you all your inputs at once. So, but you can plug in an external
And now
monitor
Natasha
if you want
Chavez has the ball.
to see it bigger, see it larger.
I can definitely see, like you said, as we come down these last 5 minutes, Sultan being more aggressive with the ball, pushing back towards Bush's goal.
So we don't have to tap out.
Yes.
We just have stream on one screen.
Casey Gonzalez now has the ball for the Turks.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We'll do some fancy little foot stuff
Oh.
and start heading back up the field. Oh, and ball goes out of
Well,
bounds.
this laptop can handle 2 screens easily.
It'll
But
be
that's
Bush
one more thing you have to pack up.
Throw in after this sub.
You know, get in and out.
Yep, and for the Turks is Betsy Herrera.
New laptops coming out where they fold in and they fold out into 3 different screens.
I haven't seen that. That's cool. We need one of those.
It's a Kickstarter. There's also military ones you can get.
We need one of those.
I don't know how good it is.
Lauren Landis almost made it past that last defender there.
Well,
Had
that
nice-
would have been a breakaway there, right?
Something like
Yes, that would have
with
been a
kick-ass
breakaway.
video card and a kick-ass processor.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would be worthless.
Gonna try to get
So
around
with
these
this,
defenders
we'll-
here,
With
and
the new one, we'll try to triple stream. We'll try
it'll
to
be
send
sent
to
out the
YouTube.
back by
They just
Bush
work
and
hand
played
moves.
into the corner, I believe.
Have we gotten any results back from the
Survey?
yet?
Yes, it'll be
I
a
took
corner
survey
kick
last
taken
night
by
with
Sultan.
my dad.
I want to take a look. Kind of missed all day today.
I could probably identify which one is mine.
And corner kicks are very,
Oh, I might not know.
very weird things. They can
One of the
go
ones I wanted
2
to
totally
choose
different
too,
ways.
but
They
I
can
couldn't,
either
so I put
go from the
the other
corner
choice
and
that you-
straight
saw
into the
that
goal
option
by
so much.
either
Yeah, I saw
team
that response.
if the field
Yeah,
players do
I
not
don't
take
know
it
the password.
properly, or it can get sent all the way back down the field. That's why you'll see 2
Yeah.
players down here, one for Sultan and one for Bush, that kind of wait down here in case the ball gets sent all the way
We also want to get
to like the center of the field.
Uh-huh.
It's tough,
The Sultan
man.
player,
How'd you like-
number 24,
how'd you like
Casey
my,
Gonzalez, could have returned it back to the goal,
my
and the Bush player could have
responses?
turned if she
Put
got
a
it
donate
and made a
button on
breakaway
it.
towards our goal.
I probably will never donate, but I know others will.
That's an option.
It's an honest, you know, I mean, a lot of people say that.
It's just like me. I don't have a job. I don't have a little bit of
The
extra
ball is
money
sent
to
up
donate.
the field and will
I
be
did get a-
picked up
I
by
did get a bite. Somebody wants
Bush's
to run an ad
goalkeeper.
with us, so that's good. I did get somebody else said
Ball sent
you
out.
should just ask for money. People give it to you. Just ask for $25. People give it to you. A lot of people are saying go with the subscription base, but we've tried that and it had failed.
Mhm.
And then you don't keep your viewership. You don't keep loyal viewership.
and there
You know,
seems to
if
be
you're
a
not
foul on the
charging
play
people in the community,
on
it's not
Sultan.
Twitch.
Now, do we know what sort of foul was that?
Twitch. It's not what's big these days.
Well, I mean,
That was a
once my
foul
kids are out of
on
school,
the
I'm not
Turks, most
interested in
likely
watching
for
games
the
anymore,
little
but
run-in that they had there
it's
with number
free, I
15.
can see it. But if you want me to
Good time to read another ad from Les Schwab Tire Center in Monroe. Thank you very much, Les Schwab, for being the center for all tires.
There's another
Hey guys, it's time to start thinking of your player of the game.
ball picked up by Amanda McKay.
I was wondering why Nick was here because he came over and we were practicing.
Should probably get Miss Fuller's input on that. Ouch! Oh, bam! Collision.
Right here, the ball is back in Bush possession, heading towards the goal box. And it'll be knocked away a little bit by Sultan and picked right back up by Bush.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be HD for football. There's just no way to get the long cables. When we're next door, and we get
Ball
our
is
response
sent up the
right,
field by
we
Casey
don't see the
Gonzalez,
pictures. I
and
went and took a look at it just to make sure the guy was telling me the truth.
taken back into Bush possession.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep, it exists. It's not vaporware.
Now, Nick, as we can see, we're down to the last 2 minutes of the game.
See it.
That will mean that
Yep.
So they just have to take a truck
the
home.
game could stop at any time, so you will definitely see the Turks, although trying harder the last 5 minutes, will push a lot farther. You see
We're stuck in this
defender
hot-
Lauren Landis came up to forward. That if the ball is sent down, she can take the ball.
Smaller than I expected, but there's not a lot of room over there.
Now, why would the ref be waiting to stop the game?
I mean, it's good size.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He keeps the official time on his watch,
well, let's see. This is
and then even if the official time is in like the middle of a play, he can wait till whatever feels right that's closest to that time to stop the game.
Real quick, let's read one of our last sponsors from Embroidery from the Soul in Sultan. Hey Turk fans, have you seen our TurkPride.tv bleacher seats yet at a volleyball game? Boy, do they look great. We asked our friend Elizabeth at Embroidery for the Soul to embroider the TurkPride.tv logo onto the seat backs for us, and all I can say is wow, we have finally made it to the big leagues. Do you have an embroidery project? Maybe you always wanted to get your name on your favorite jacket, or get matching hats for all your employees? Just give Elizabeth a call at Embroidery from the Soul. She'll help you out with what you need. She does all the work here local too. No shipping the items out and waiting. All done here and fast. That's embroideryforthesoul.com for more
we're not
information.
losing space to count.
That's the game.
That's the game.
Correct.
Game
So-
is taken by Bush with a 1-0 win over the Turks.
Yes.
So now it's time to start discussing, I guess, the player of the game. So for me personally, I think Amanda McKay played an amazing game, but I think I'm gonna have to give it to Lauren Landis for that aggression towards Bush's goal.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. Lauren Landis played an amazing game. Had a lot of good saves on defense, and then being moved up to forward, had a lot of good runs through and almost made it up to the goal.
So
So I think we're going to have Lauren Landis as our Windmill Espresso player of the game.
yeah, so congratulations, Lauren Landis.
Yes. Go right
So
ahead.
that's the game.
We're almost done
Thank you
talking.
for sticking with
Yeah,
us,
wait
and make
till
sure
we're
you
done
tune in to TurkPride.tv Friday night if you cannot make it to our Boys Turks first home football game.
Yeah, remember, this will be archived on the TurkPride.tv website and on YouTube. Thank you very much. I'm Nicholas Sorgen.
I'm Kobe Munn.
Have a great day.
Over and out.
You did it. Let me stop your stream.